Hey, Room 4, this is primarily a message for the parents. This is going to be looking at our actual class schedule. What have we done for the last 2 terms? What has our week looked like, and what's our days looked like? And so you're at least going to get a look into what has been happening in the classroom, and how can I use this to implement some kind of routine for my kids for the coming weeks. So, the first thing you'll want to see about my routine is that it's really boring. It's basically the same thing at the same time every day. So, the first thing we do in the morning is always announcements. I read a passage of scripture. We've been reading through Mark. We give a brief talk, we pray, and then we get into our actual day schedule. So, you'll notice that the start of every day we would always write. And writing usually looks like me sharing my example and then the students getting 10 to 15 minutes of completely silent writing time. And that stays the same every day. So whether we're planning our writing, it's 10 minutes with a planning sheet, total silent, totally focused writing time. Whether we're actually writing during the week or whether we're editing and revising. And I'll certainly make a video about each of those steps in our writing process, but I'm just trying to give you a brief overview of what our days look like. Now, we have gym at the same time every morning from 9:37 till 10:08 till recess. And something I really want to emphasize is recess is fundamental to elementary school. You as a parent or me as a teacher need those brief moments to run to the washroom, to grab a drink of water or coffee or whatever, and have some moments of quiet and peace. So in elementary school, we kick them out. We have a couple supervisors, it's safe, but find a way to give yourself some moments of quiet. We're talking about 2 15-minute recesses from, our recesses at 10:08. You can do whatever works for you, but kick them out in the backyard. If they have siblings, they'll learn all sorts of skills being out there with their siblings and fighting. They'll be safe if they're in the yard or if they're, out on a green space. But take that time to breathe, to make yourself a cup of coffee, take a moment. So after sort of gym and recess, now gym is going to be a little difficult. I would encourage looking at YouTube for dance videos. There's all sorts of things like yoga, and I'll certainly try and compile a list of videos that you can rely on during those movement breaks for gym. So after recess, we've done some flip-flopping. Sometimes we're going to be doing math for the hour before lunch. Sometimes we'll be doing science or social. In this last week's schedule, I had planned to do science and social in the mornings and then do math in the afternoons. Do whatever works for your kiddos. If they're working really well, I would encourage you to put math there because we know that numeracy is really important. And if they're focused in the mornings, get that done then. We know that our lunchtime at school is compressed. So if you want to definitely increase the amount of time they have for lunch, certainly an hour would make sense to me. But half of that lunch, 30 minutes, is them outside. Kick them out. They're not on devices. They're outside in nature. Find a safe place for them to be. So the first thing we do when they come back in from recess is they take out their word sword. So every week, each student gets a set of words, and I've given you these in your package, but those words are at the student's spelling and writing level. And so it's important for them to become familiar with these words and those words patterns. After their word sorting activities, we do our collaborative reading. So for the past term, we've been reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I've started a new book, and that book's actually quite difficult. And so either give them the video of me reading it to support them, or read it with them every day. So every day they're going to start by reading the passage. It's quite short, but it is difficult. I wanted my grade 4s to be challenged. And so grade 3s, let me know, and I can absolutely provide a different book for those struggling. Each day for collaborative reading, they have one short task. So each of these activities should take about 10 to 15 minutes. They sort their words. They read the passage out loud. We have actions that go with the vocabulary words, and they know the routine, and in the video I show you the routine, and go ahead and do that. Now after that, we do have some complicated things because of our French swaps. The grade 3s would go do social usually on Tuesdays, Fridays, or the grade 4s would do French. But I would just encourage you, do the same thing every day. So I'm looking at like a Monday, and I'm seeing that we have math for an hour. And so that would be 3 to 4 times a week we'd be doing math for a whole hour. And so that would include teaching time, and that would include work time. I've created the lessons in YouTube. So if the students have access to a device, great. They can have their booklet out and watch the videos and go through the device as they go. If they don't have access to the device, they can work through the booklet and finish the booklet completely by themselves. The reason that I've created a game is that the students can use the game to check their answers and find out, okay, what have I done right? What have I done wrong? For math, they can do it completely offline and then just use the online tools to check their answers. After that, we would have recess for another 15 minutes, and then the last part of the day kind of flip-flops. It's sometimes music, it's sometimes science, or even math or social. Do whatever works for you. Once we get fully running, the idea would to have 3 math lessons a week, to have a social lesson, a science lesson, and then you have your daily routines for everything else. You've got your writing every morning, you've got your word sorts, and your book study in the afternoons. I hope this is helpful. If you need any support creating the routine, creating those expectations around using the device as a tool and not a toy, I am available. Definitely reach out.